Hi, it's Paul here from self-helpforlife.com, and in this video I'm going to cover 10 powerful ways to boost your confidence. Now, confidence is essential for success. Confident people tend to be happier, they tend to be more fulfilled, they have higher levels of self-esteem, they tend to be less stressed and less anxious, and that's because they can believe that they can handle whatever's going to come their way. So look, if confidence is not natural to you, there are things you can do to boost it. And today I'm going to show you 10 ways to do just that. So the first one is use positive self-talk. So the way that you think affects the way you feel and affects the way you act. So if you tend to be thinking negatively, you'll tend to then get negative feelings, and then you'll tend to either act negatively or not act at all. So examples could be if you have the thought of, I can't do that, or this is hard, then that's going to affect your ability to actually do those things. So what tends to happen over time is people tend to have those thoughts repetitively, and they turn into like negative affirmations. So what we need to do is turn those into positive affirmations. And a good way to do that is to memorize some positive statements and just be able to rattle those off your tongue whenever you need to. Okay, so a good one might be, I accomplish my daily goals with ease. Another one could be, I am prepared to meet any challenge that comes my way. And a third one is, confidence radiates from me at all times. So remembering statements like that, you can then interrupt that negative thought pattern with those statements really easily. And you haven't got to remember them on the spot, they're just there for you. So the second one is challenge yourself. So we can do much more than we think we can, and I'm sure there's been times in your life where maybe you've had to stretch yourself in some way unexpectedly. So we can always stretch ourselves. So the more you do that, the more you gain the skills and the confidence to move forward. So I encourage you to challenge yourself, stretch yourself, and just notice how good that feels after you've done that. The third one is to fake it using body language. So I mentioned earlier about how your thoughts affect your feelings and that affects your actions. Well, it works the other way as well. So if you act confidently, you'll then start to feel confident, and then you'll be thinking confident as well. So simple things like standing up straight, making sure your head's up, your shoulders are back, maintaining eye contact if you're with other people, smiling, all those kind of things. So basically just acting as if you're confident. Maybe even, what you can do is imagine you're the actor, you're the confident actor, and just notice how that tends to feel. So the fourth one is to set goals. So people with goals tend to have that sense of purpose about them, they act decisively, so that's important. Making sure that your goals are realistic and attainable, that's important too, because if you set goals that are too ambitious, that will backfire and affect your confidence. So just setting realistic goals and having that sense of purpose is important. So step 5 is to be prepared. Let's say you're doing a speech and you haven't prepared yourself properly. Well, you could do some of the things that I mentioned earlier, like faking it with body language, using positive self-talk, but your mind is just going to come back to you and say, look, hey, you haven't prepared for this. And that part of the mind is called the critical faculty, so it's going to start to question that anyway. So preparation is important, and once you've prepared to the best of your ability, just also think that I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to also be okay with what happens. So number 6 is to be grateful. A lot of people focus on what isn't working, and that is bad for self-confidence. So instead, start to notice what is working well in your life already. And there's a nice little exercise that I often do just before going to bed, which is to think about 3 things that went well. So list 3 things that went well today. Then list 3 things that you're grateful for, and then list 3 things that you would do differently next time. So that's a great little exercise. You can do that at bedtime and it takes less than a minute to do. So number 7 is to speak more slowly. So people that have a lack of confidence tend to speak really quickly. And the reason for that is a kind of inner belief that what they're saying isn't important. And I've often noticed this with people in authority. So they want to say whatever they need to say to their boss or whatever it is as quickly as possible because they feel that what they're saying isn't important. So if you speak more slowly, that will slow down your thinking and reduce any kind of anxiety feelings as well. So speaking more slowly is really important. And also notice how confident people speak. Notice the words and phrases, the voice tonality and the speed that they use, and that can help as well. So the next one, number 8, is to focus on solutions. And a good way to do this is to ask yourself questions, specifically how questions. So going back to the earlier example of, this is far too hard for me, you could ask yourself, well, how could I make this task easier? Another example could be, I just can't seem to lose this weight. So you could then ask yourself, well, what can I do today to help me lose this weight? Or a third one could be, I hate my job. So you could ask yourself, well, what can I do today to love my job or to find another job? So questions are really important. Questions help your mind focus on solutions, and they give you that sense of control and responsibility as well. So number 9 is do something that you've been putting off. So when you have a big to-do list of things that are going back several months, that's almost like a sort of mental energy drain. So one thing that can help is just to get 1 or 2 things off that list every day. And so pick something from your list and do it as early as possible in the day, and just notice how you feel after that. Okay, the final one, number 10, and this is probably the most important one actually, is to be able to embrace uncertainty. So these days we live in an uncertain world, and many of us want to have certainty over the outcome. So we want to feel that if we have the skills and we have the ability and we have the knowledge, that we can do something and we're guaranteed that we're going to get the outcome or the result. Okay? But the world doesn't seem to work that way these days. Okay? And one of the reasons it doesn't is because of other people. So if whatever it is you want to achieve involves someone else or persuading someone else or something like that, then there's always that element of uncertainty with that. So what I want to encourage you to do is to focus on doing your best and be okay with the outcome. So it's like the confidence is really about having the confidence that you're going to do your best. And sometimes your best is going to be brilliant, and on other days your best may be just okay. But you're always doing the best on that particular day, and you're okay with whatever happens. Whatever happens is feedback. So that's really important, is to have the confidence in your abilities, but be able to be okay with whatever the outcome is. So to help you embrace uncertainty, I've recorded a self-hypnosis recording. It's my 100% confidence recording, and I'll have a link below this video, so if you'd like to download that, that will really help you as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment, and do subscribe for more videos just like this one. And as I say, if you want to download my 100% confidence recording, click the link in the description and you'll be able to do that. Thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.